you have a 9 to 5, and you want to like try something else, and you are thinking of how you can balance it, how you can do both at the same time, this video is definitely for you, because I have been there. Hi guys, hello, good to see your faces virtually from your phone or laptop, wherever you're watching from. My name is Oluwayeti. I'm a senior data scientist and also a data instructor, coach, and all of the things between. So what is today's video about? First of all, if you're new here, I want to say a huge welcome to this community. Thank you for clicking the video. Thanks to anybody who shared it with you, and thank you for believing that you will find value, because yes, you will find value. And if you have been a subscriber, of course, thank you so much. You are still here because you find value, you believe in what I'm saying, you trust what I say here. And as you know, here is a place where we keep it real. I do not sugarcoat things. I do not deceive people to do things. I tell you the truth as it should be. So if you are on a full-time job, like you have like a 9 to 5 job, but you want to transition into another career, so you're wondering how you could balance it, this is the video for you. It does not necessarily have to be like a tech career. It could be anything. You have a 9 to 5, and you want to like try something else, and you are thinking of how you can balance it, how you can do both at the same time, this video is definitely for you, because I have been there. So let's get started. So to just talk briefly about my journey, my career journey, I had my bachelor's in computer science, and afterwards I graduated, of course, after 4 years at the University of Ilorin. And after my graduation, I did my service year, and then afterwards I joined Andela, and I started as a junior software engineer. But at my 3rd year at Andela, I think my 2nd or 3rd year, I actually got tired of software engineering, because before I even went to software engineering, I have always been interested in artificial intelligence, machine learning, and topics around that. So in my 3rd year, I actually got tired of my role as a software engineer, and I wanted to honestly transition into AI. How did I do it? This may not work for everyone in terms of what I did, but I'm going to be extending this to actually work for you. So don't think that, oh yeah, it's not for me. That's not what I mean. It's just that the way I went about it does not necessarily have to be what you have to do, because not everyone may be in my shoes or be in the position that I was to do some things that I did. But however, there are some tips that I'll still share, because I've literally helped people to do this. So what I did during my time is that I had to cut off things. So number one thing is that you need to look at what is happening around you, especially maybe on your weekends. You do something, maybe on your weekends you always go to parties. I'm not saying don't go to party, of course, I love to party. So I'm not saying that you should cut off parties or socializing, but see, one thing I have to give way. People that are subscribed on this channel, that I always say the truth. One thing we give way to one thing. You cannot eat your cake and have it. So you need to look at something that you are doing that you need to pause or cut. So I'm not saying like cut things out. It may be that something that you are doing, you need to just pause it for the time being, so that you can give time. So for me, every weekend I always go out. Like I said, like I was just now I'm resting. Like I don't go out every weekend like that, but back then when I was in Nigeria, every weekend there's always somewhere to go, there's always something to do. I love to visit art galleries and all that. Back to the purpose of this video anyway. I had to cut that out. So I knew that my Saturdays were going to, the things that I used to do, like going out and all of that, I have to pause it and not feel guilty about it. So that could entail you, telling some of your friends that are used to you having you around, that, oh, I'm doing this thing at this time, so I may not be able to commit like I used to. So you need to like pause things, and or cut things out. So that's the first reality check that you have to do. So for me, I used to work then remotely for a company in the US. So in Nigeria, for me, it was 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. because it was, a full-time job. So what I used to do is that I will go to the office early, before 3, and I would try to get to office like maybe 10 in the morning, and I would start watching the courses and the things that are, maybe I'm doing a project or doing an assignment or watching a recording. So I'm going to do that from like that 10 or 11 till like 2. So that's like 4 hours or 3 hours, depending on when I start. And then I'll take an hour break. So I was lucky that Andela, we had like sleeping pods. So in the office, you can go and take a nap. So when it's 2, which is usually our lunch time, I think I go for lunch, and then I'll have like that 30 minutes or sometimes 45 minutes based on how I feel. I'll have that break and take a nap. And then 3, I'm kind of refreshed to then begin work for my clients. Then on Saturdays, I stopped going out. So very early, before my brain collects the sun in Nigeria and the heat. Very early in the morning, like 6 a.m. sometimes, I'll be up, and between the 6 to 9, between the time of 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., I will just, try to study. Most times I use it for projects because it's quiet. Saturday mornings like that are kind of quiet, depending on where you are in Lagos. And then, I use that to study. So the number one thing is that one thing will have to give way. So you have to pause some things. You have to clear your calendar, clear your schedule. Make sure that at least in another 3 months, you've sort of find a way to create that space, for, the thing that you want, the boot camp that you want to do. Now, the second thing is that for people like you, live sessions or live boot camps are not the type you should go for. I also have a video on the kind of boot camps you should avoid, so try to watch that as well. But essentially, number one thing is, for choosing your boot camp, make sure that for someone like you do not go for a boot camp where you have to leave your job. Don't resign. Don't let anybody push you to say resign. When you resign, you will get the job. Please don't be deceived, my brother, my sister. Don't mind them. Stick with your job, because that's still what pays your bills, and you don't know how long this journey will take. So don't just quit your job. Try to find boot camps that are probably like hybrid. So when I say hybrid, like they have everything recorded, but they have maybe what we call office hours, or maybe weekend session where what you have learned during the week, they will not teach you, like they will now go over it. So in that case, when you are trying to dig out which resource should I go for, which boot camp, if you are going for a boot camp, make sure that it is one that it is not a live session. Now, the other thing is that make use of your commute time. So I know I'm able to like address this issue because I coach some set of students, and sometimes I hear their struggles. Sometimes there is no light. So you want to make use of your commute time. I know that your commute time, sometimes you are tired, especially if you live in Lagos where the hustle and bubbling, pim and everything is really high. But as much as possible, try to make use of your commute time. So sometimes what I used to do then is that if there are some resources I need to read, I'll just put the link somewhere on my phone, like open it down on my phone. It doesn't have to be the course. Maybe there's something that they've said in the course that I saw and I want to like read more about it. So I will just open a tab on the tab on my phone, like the tabs on my phone, and when I'm in the traffic or something like that, I'm just like scrolling through it. You may be tired, you may feel like, oh, I don't think I will assimilate anything at that time, but trust me, even though your brain may not pick like 100% of what you are reading at that time because you're probably tired from the day's job, I can tell you that 50% of it you'll be able to at least get it. And practice makes perfect. So that's a culture that you should cultivate. Make use of your commute time. Try to like go through things on your phone during the commute time, because it will save you time. Also, for someone like you want to go for project-based learning. What do I mean by that? So if you are going to a boot camp where you are just attending courses and just doing small assignments here and there is no capstone projects. I think that's not good. Don't go for such boot camp. Try to go for a boot camp that is project based, where at the end of the day there's something to show, like, oh, you did Python, oh, then I did this project in Python, oh, we did data visualization, then I did this project in data visualization, because that will motivate you as well. You know that there's an end goal to what you are learning. So try to go for a project-based learning style, because you will really need that. The next thing is set realistic expectations. Don't try to, maybe somebody else beside you, they've used 3 months, they've gotten the job and everything. Try to give yourself grace. Don't think that somebody else used 3 months to learn, so me too, I should use 3 months to learn. No, you have different learning style. You have different ways that you learn, which brings me to my next point, your learning style. For some of us, me, I'm a visual learner. For some people, they are kinesthetic learner. For some people, they prefer books or articles. Some people, they prefer to watch videos. But I think most people are visual learners. So try to find a boot camp where your style of learning is included in their own style of teaching. Otherwise, you will become frustrated. So that will make the journey kind of endurable for you. Now, the next thing that most people underlook is speak to your employer. Yes, I know that some employers are from hell. Some employers do not want your progress, but for some of you who have very fantastic employers, try to negotiate with your employer, especially if that role that you want to transition to is something that the company already have someone, and that department may be expanding, so they may be looking into employing a second or third person into that department, which you are already interested in. So try to negotiate with your employer, especially if they have that role. Let them know that, oh, I'm actually interested in transitioning to this role, and because of that, let them know, oh, I've paid for this course, or I've paid for this boot camp, and I would like some time. Some employers are actually nice. I know that we don't really have that a lot in Nigeria, but I mean, you never can tell. So try to negotiate and see if your employer can allow you to dedicate some time. So it could be that maybe on your Fridays they allow you to close work early, right? So you can at least go home and then continue your course. So try to see if that is something that is negotiable. Please use wisdom. Disclaimer, use wisdom, so that it's not like they will hear and they'll now go and sack you and say be going. So you have to read your environment at least to know if that's something that is possible at your own place of work. Lastly, especially for those in Nigeria where you have electricity problem, one thing that I would say is to try, if you have your own personal laptop, and hopefully it's not the laptop that the battery does not last, I would say try to take your laptop to work and charge it at work, so that when you go back home you can have some hours of doing maybe an hour study or something when you get back home. So that is for if you are going to be maybe you don't live far from your place of work, because I know that the traffic in Lagos is terrible. So if you are the type that gets home 11 p.m, that I will not tell you that we will find an hour or something, even though that's not something that is far-fetched, because I've done something like that when I started the Andela boot camp. But I mean, if you can do it, fantastic. If you cannot, just know that okay, your weekends is what you're going to be using to dedicate. And that was why I mentioned at the very first beginning that you should try to cut out things that you usually do on your weekend, so that you can give more time to it. So yeah, try to take your laptop to work, charge it so that you can take it back home. If the battery of your laptop is bad, then you will need to invest in changing that laptop, because it will save you a lot of stress. Because when you go and charge, especially if you have electricity problems a lot, it's when you charge, you are saving yourself time, because you know that at least you have 4 hours on your laptop to work. So that's what you should do if your laptop battery is bad. Yeah, and that brings me to the end of this video. I hope you found this helpful. If you have, please click the like button, share to your friends who you believe would need this. And yeah, I'm rooting for you. It will be hard, but I just want to encourage you not to give up. You'll be the first recipient of the fruit of your labor by God's grace. So just try to push yourself. Try to think about what has motivated you, even if it is the blood money it take. Whatever has motivated you, yeah, just make sure that you're giving your best and you try to do this. I've really helped people walk through this, and it always delights me when they come back to say, oh, Ideti, thank you for helping me to achieve this, thank you for helping me to do this. Because yes, I know the struggle, I have been there myself, and yeah, I'm rooting for you, and I hope to see you in my next video. Remember to like, remember to subscribe, remember to share, and if you have comments for other people, what has helped you. So have you worked in a full-time job and had to go for a role, or you had to transition into a role and learn alongside? What has been your experience like? How did you do it? There are things that I may have not said, because I don't know it all. So there are things that I may have not said that other people will benefit from when you say it. So please put it in the comment section. What has really helped you? Are you currently in this phase? What are your struggles? What do you find most difficult? Maybe I've not addressed it. Let me know in the comment section. Let me, it would help me see if there's a way I can actually help you. So enough of talking. Let me just end this video now. But thank you so much for watching. Bye.